So I wasn't planning to record, but I just ran into something. Well, I didn't just run into something. I ran into it like an hour ago because I just watched it because a big man came out of nowhere and I guess interrupted the video, so I actually had to delete the first half of the video that I already began, because I already began talking about this. I need to start all over again. So this isn't going to be the first time I'm watching it. It might be the first time you're watching it. Here you go. This is Justin Bieber. Pedophiles run the evil music industry. And seeking the truth. I did subscribe. So, let's see what the fuck is going on here. Come on now. Go on with the program, please.
What's up, everybody? Truth Seeker here. This is actually pretty revealing, I'd say. This is actually something that I had suspicions on, but I was waiting for some kind of news to actually come out about it.
Here's some fucked up stories.
How do you know? I mean, especially from the Coreys, the two Coreys, Corey Haines, they was talking about how when they was child actors,
prepare yourself.
That they was witnessing, and they was actually involved in this elite pedophile ring with these Hollywood people and stuff, and all child celebrities and actors and everything, they said, goes through this kind of stuff. And so I kind of already assumed, like, every single child actor that you guys know of, child actor, singer, talent, anything, has a pretty good chance that they also been involved with it. And now Justin Bieber is actually coming forward. Never really thought I would actually be the one to do a news story on this.
You know they're going to go after him, right?
Weird. But Justin Bieber,
they might kill him,
states that pedophiles run the evil music industry. And this is something that, you know, a lot of the Hollywood celebrities have been saying for years, and they always ran up committing suicide or something else. And then
why do you think Charles Bennington died?
And also Chester Bennington,
and
that also randomly just committed suicide, and they was also trying to expose these industry pedophile rings that, you know, all these celebrities are talking about.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, now Justin Bieber coming forward about this. So it says, Justin Bieber told hundreds of people at a Bible study class in Los Angeles that he has woken up to the evils of music industry, and he needs to take a break from the industry because it is controlled by the absolute worst kind of people.
They're going to try to kill him.
Bieber has become a regular at the Bible study class held in the Montage in Beverly Hills on Saturday, 22nd July. He shared what he described as a horrific story with the congregation and explained why he felt he had to quit his world tour. Describing a party on tour attended by the upper echelon of the music business, including executive VPs of development, producers, power agents, and international financiers, Bieber said he was encouraged to sexually abuse a young child who had been brought to the party for the sexual gratification of the industry elite. I didn't want to do this. I really didn't. They said this kid was drugged. It was horrible, Bieber said, explaining that it was made clear to him that he would gain entry to the business side of the industry if he joined the club by passing the initiation rites. I wouldn't just be a performer, I'd be a mogul. That path would open up for me, like it did for Jay-Z. It's the difference between being a millionaire and being a billionaire. But Bieber told the congregation that he couldn't do it. To join the club, I'd have to do bad things to this poor kid. But then I realized that even that wasn't enough for them. I'd also have to kill this little child. Bieber said he had heard rumors about this type of initiation in the music industry, but he had not been confronted with it before.
He didn't believe it.
I got told they secretly film these parties. Once they've got you on video doing something like that, they own you. You don't know how many times I heard celebrities say stuff like that, especially stuff going on with Bohemian Grove and everything else. They was all saying that. Even Skull and Crossbones has rituals and stuff that they actually film these people so they have a piece of blackmail on them for later on. Even on Jeffrey Epstein's island, the known pedophile that had his own private island that he was flying these girls in on, and this plane that he called the Elite Express. He even had cameras hidden on this island for blackmail purposes for these high-profile figures that are actually going to his island. This is like just something that these elites been doing for a long time. These music industries, and not just music industries, but Hollywood too, they'll sit there and they'll make a deal with someone, and they'll say they'll give you this, this, and this as long as you do this, but you got to let us record it. And then now that they have it recorded, they're going to use that to make you do whatever the hell they want, all because you wanted that upfront cash. And that's the way all these stories end up going. And then usually by the time that the people get to the point of actually starting to expose it and everything, then they just randomly commit suicide. People, this has got to start becoming a pattern. People have to start looking at stuff like this. Bieber said his conscience is clear because he didn't participate, but the fate of the drug child is haunting him. They said this kid was raped by a few different guys. They said he was bleeding. I got out of there, but I heard he died, and that haunts me. Says this allegation from Justin Bieber adds to the wave of the accusations made by celebrities and musicians about the real nature of the music and entertainment industry elite. Corey Feldman and Elijah Wood have both gone on record exposing the pedophilia at heart of Hollywood. According to Elijah Wood, innocent young lives are destroyed to satisfy people with parasitic interests who see you as their prey. In an interview with the Sunday Times, Wood dropped a series of bombshells about the pedophiles that run the industry. Nothing that clearly something major was going on in Hollywood. It was all organized. If you read the Washington Post or watch CNN, pedophilia is not a problem, and those who talk about it are in tinfoil hat-wearing kooks perpetrating fake news. But more and more stars are coming forward with similar stories about the depraved Hollywood and music industry system.
Exactly. So
in recent months, Nicole Kidman and Lindsay Lohan also spoke out about pedophilia in Hollywood. Close friends of Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington claimed the recently deceased pair were working on exposing the pedophile ring working at the heart of the music industry, and it cost them their lives. Justin Bieber just shocked his fans by canceling his world tour and announcing that he needed some time away from the music industry.
Some people just don't accept
more
this shit.
information comes to light, it appears he made the best possible decision.
Too harsh to bear, right? Imagine the kids going through it.
It's too out there. It's like not hidden knowledge at all. None of this is hidden knowledge. People have been talking about this stuff for years, and it just makes you, start thinking, wow, this could be why these people are just randomly dying, right? It's because they're sitting here trying to expose these powerful, rich, elite people, and you're sitting here hearing the story from Justin Bieber, but I'm pretty sure there's still skeptics out there saying that, oh, this is just some made-up bullshit, this is fake news, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't fake news, people. This really isn't. If you really are going to sit there and actually deny the fact that all these celebrities that's been saying for years that there's a elite pedophile ring that runs the goddamn show, you're going to really sit there and deny all their stories? And then half these people are dying that are talking about it? Get out of here. But
they're part of the problem.
This is real, and I'm going to actually show you an interview of someone that actually was a part of one of these before. Go ahead and check this out. Tell me if this is fake.
I didn't know that the thing was Bohemian Grove back then, nor did the kid when he was writing it. All he knew was he was taken to this place. Let me just read it. It'll take 3 minutes. Is that okay? Yeah, go ahead. I went in January. Now, this is Benassi, a kid named Paul Benassi writing this, and this is directly word for word from his diary. I went in January of '84 on every trip. I was paid by men King knew for sex. In the summer of '84, sometime, I went to Dallas, Texas, and had sex with several men King knew in a hotel. I flew on YNR Airlines, by the way, that's a private airline or private charter deal, and CAM Airlines, another private charter deal, normally for King. I never had much personally to do with King, only went where he told me to go. In or on July 26th, I went to Sacramento, California. King flew me out on a private plane from Kepler Airfield in Omaha to Denver, where we picked up Nicholas, a boy who was about 12 or 13. Then we flew to Vegas, to a desert strip, and drove into Las Vegas into some ranch and got something. Then flew on to Sacramento. We were picked up by a white limo and taken to a hotel. I don't remember the name of it. We, meaning Nicholas and I, were driven to an area that had big trees. It took about an hour to get there. There was a cage with a boy in it who was not wearing anything. Nicholas and I were given these Tarzan things to put around us and stuff like that. They told me to, I won't use the word, blank the boy and stuff. In other words, have sex with him. At first I said no, and they held a gun to my genitals, I'll use the word, and said do it or else lose them or something like that. I began doing it to the boy and stuff. And Nicholas had anal sex and stuff with him. We were told to blank him and stuff and beat on him. I didn't try to hurt him. We were told to put our blanks in his mouth and stuff and sit on the boy's blank and stuff, and they filmed it. We did this stuff to the boy for about 30 minutes or an hour when a man came in and kicked us and stuff in the genitals and picked us up and threw us. He grabbed the boy and started blanking him and stuff. The man was about, not sure how to say, the man was about so many inches long, and the boy screamed and stuff, and the man was forcing his blank into the boy all the way. The boy was bleeding from his rectum, and the men tossed me and him and stuff and put the boy right next to me and grabbed a gun and blew the boy's head off. The boy's blood was all over me, and I started yelling and crying. The men grabbed Nicholas and I and forced us to lie down. They put the boy on top of Nicholas, who was crying, and they were putting Nicholas' hands on the boy's blank. They put the boy on top of me and did the same thing. They then forced me to blank the dead boy. Gets pretty crude. They put a gun to our heads to make us do it. His blood was all over us. They made us kiss the boy's lips and do other things. Then they made me do something I don't even want to even write, so I won't. After that, the men grabbed Nicholas and drug him off, screaming. They put me up against a tree and put a gun to my head that fired into the air. I heard another shot from somewhere, and then saw the man who killed the boy drag him like a toy. Everything, including when the men put the boy in a trunk, was filmed. The men took me with them, and we went up in a plane. We saw the bag the boy was in. We went over a very thick brush area with a clearing in it. Over the clearing, they dropped the boy. One said the men with the hoods would take care of the body for them. I didn't see Nicholas until that night at the hotel. He and I hugged and held each other for a long while. About 2 hours later, the men or Larry King came in and told us to go take a shower since we had only been hosed off at some guy's house. We took a shower together and then were told to put on the Tarzan things. After we were cleaned up and dressed in these things, we were told to put on short socks and a shirt and shoes and driven to a house where the men were at with some others. They had the film and they played it. As the men watched, they passed Nicholas and I around as if we were toys.
Satanic as fuck. What's the Jews like? This is what the Jews like.
Have you looked at all of you when you did things to people? Accessory? Okay. And you were used to having sex with people, right?
Fuck off.
Something else must have happened there when you fall.
Please don't interrupt me.
He's crying and that's all it is. I told the guys, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. They're like, do it or else, or we'll finish me too. Who's telling me this all? God, I'm directing the thing.
Wait, Precious.
Did you need to do this or I'm going to kill you too? Do what, Paul? Do what? The spooky thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you screwed the devil happened.
The fucking elites. Hold on, Precious.
Yeah.
Hey, Nana.
Something you're going to tell me, Paul. Yeah. That's money dedicated to me. You didn't know about it. The Nicholas didn't know what was going to go on next.
Oh, Precious.
This guy came in and started kicking the shit out of Nicholas, and they started trying to kick the shit out of me. started having sex with this kid. Okay.
This is the worst story, by the way.
Okay. You okay?
No?
Then
Scars you for life.
this guy dragged him around. Are you in the cage? Started dragging him around. He kept dragging him around and was having sex with him. Just tossing his head around like he was tossing his kid around like it was a bag of potatoes or something. He started slamming him all over the place. Then he came back and he started kicking the shit out of me again. He started kicking my head. I started doing something to hit with a stick. Right in the balls. Then he kept back. Then he kept me and Nicholas and shoved us in the cage. And he took this kid and he sat there and sat him up. Sat him up. Right next to the cage, and then he kicked in his face. The kid was just crying. I kept yelling at the guy's son. I said, kill him if I got a hold of him. I said, well, you shot him. You what? Shot him. Shot him in his head. Right after that, I tried to kill myself. Took the guy to the hotel and tried to cut my wrist.
Stop.
Who shot him? Paul? Did you shoot him with a pistol or a rifle?
A pistol or a rifle? Sure.
Where exactly did you shoot him in his body?
Here I told you.
Shot him in his head. Left him behind. His foot.
Events of your case, I remember you telling me clearly that at first, when you started looking into these facts, there was nothing in your person that would believe the story that this young man told you. Yet, as you dug into it, what did you find, John, as you dug deeper?
Well, we'll start at the beginning. You said it right. In fact, that's how I got involved, because when some strange stories started filtering on the street from these young people after this Franklin credit union had been raided back when the credit unions were collapsing and all kinds of terrible things were occurring. I was one of the first ones that stood up publicly and said, well, this all has to be just a lot of fantasy and nonsense, because if anybody really seriously believes the stories that are coming out on the street from these kids, I said, well, if you really believed it, I said, then I'd be the first one to step forward and insist we do something about it. But this is like la-la land. Well, I got a letter from some kids that had been arrested on the night of the Franklin raid, when the feds raided the credit union, and he had been picked up that night and put in jail on some spurious grounds that he touched, kind of like Foley, that he touched his cousin on the outside of his pants in the wrong place or something. Anyway, and so the kid wrote me a letter and said, well, Mr. DeCamp, I read your stuff and heard about you, and if you'd come talk to me, I could tell you where to find some stuff that would prove it's not just fantasy or la-la land like you claim. And I thought, well, I better put my actions where my mouth has been, so I went to Omaha where he was locked up and visited with him, and he had some strange stories, but more important than anything else, some things that, locations he told me where he had hidden certain things, and if I'd go and look at those places, I'd find these things. one of them was a set of diaries, and ever since he was a little boy, his grandfather had taught him to keep a diary, so he kept a diary of everything. And so I thought, well, heck, I'll go check that out. And I went and found these diaries, just like you said, they would be hidden in this place. And the first thing I did, though, was I went and took them to one of the group of the company that analyzes writing and printing and ink and all that.
Too long. This is ready. I gave you guys like 19 minutes and 38 seconds of that. So I also want to show you guys this.
Justin Bieber and the cancellation of his tour, which absolutely shocked not only his fans, but a lot of people around him.
Has split a bunch of people. It's a very polarizing time to be a believer right now.
Huge rift in Justin Bieber's world with people he works with and also among his fans because he decided to not complete the tour, which only had 14 dates left. And we now have a better picture of why he did this.
I know he's a believer,
because
I guess,
people connected to the Hillsong Church, where Justin, is a member, are telling us that he has rededicated his life to Christ and felt like he needed to put more of his time toward that and didn't want to get back on the road. And that's why he decided to not complete the tour, which is not sitting well
his performance to make money
for the Purpose tour. Now at all that they were complete, that Justin was canceling it. You can tell in this video he looked canceling the tour.
You've had to cancel the tour, man? Is everything okay, or? Yeah, everything's fine. Yeah? Yeah. Just had enough of being on the road, or?
I miss the first words like.
Yeah, that's a long stretch, right? Yeah. Looking forward to some downtime.
It's resting and getting some relaxation. We're going to ride some bikes.
Nice. Any message for the fans?
I love you guys. I think you guys are awesome. Sorry for anybody who feels like disappointed or betrayed. It's not my heart or anything. And have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
Listen, his situation
this is a really tough situation, I think, because
it is.
On the one hand, you want to respect if Justin wants to Christ,
what the fuck?
that is absolutely
I'm gonna get
have to respect it.
Right.
His eternity, which is...
Fuck. Give me a sec. Okay, so that was a possible false alarm. Let me continue.
What his religion is based upon, and his soul. There's certain things that are more important than him being out there and performing. You would have to respect any crisis of that magnitude.
But you guys don't think 14 shows over the course of 3 more months, he can't kind of squeeze it in there somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, the other part, Brad, that's the other part of it, is that the remaining part of the tour was not really rigorous as far as travel.
Right, it was mostly in the U.S., and then there was a couple stops in Japan to end it out.
Well, it's not rigorous to us.
No, it was spread out and not rigorous to Justin, but what we're told is compared to the rest of the tour, this was like he could actually fly in the day of, do the show, and fly back.
Here's my point.
And he's not in economy on United Airlines either. It's a private jet.
Here's my point. Justin Bieber came to a point to where he decided that he could no longer go on. Now, if you're believing that he did this in a cavalier fashion, that's one thing. I personally don't believe that. I will say this. It would be a great measure of good faith to find some way to compensate the crew and the people who are relying on him for the rest of it. That would be something that Jesus actually would do. You know what I mean? So if you're asking yourself what would he do, he would make sure everyone that put that also would be.
But you'll have to understand from the tour side of it, from the tour, from his crew, they saw Justin walk out and say, smiling like, "Oh no, everything's fine."
So what do you want to see? You want to see a nervous breakdown? You want to see?
No, but I think what they would like to have heard is, look, I know that I've left some people in the lurch, and I'm really sorry for that.
Well, he said he was sorry on the video.
Well, he apologized to the fans.
Right. So I mean, for me...
But he looked extremely happy. And my thing is, he's very wealthy. He's been with Carl Lentz for the past month. He has, a little more shows, and why not take Carl with you on the road?
Give me a sec. Okay, so now that Justin Bieber is a Christian again, I want to show you guys this Egyptian newspaper ascribes proof of blood libel myth to classified CIA report. I'm gonna get cut off. Give me a sec. Fuck. I did get cut off constantly. But at least I got a toke just now. Anyway, the Algeminer, or whatever the fuck is, however the fuck it's pronounced, Egypt's Al-Talia News published an article by columnist Gada Abd, whatever, that alleged proof of the anti-Semitic libel that resurges each year on Passover, claiming that a classified CIA report confirms that Jews use blood for murders in baking matzah for the holiday. It's reminding me of the kid that they killed and all the kids that they've been killing after their fucking rape and sacrifice to Moloch. I'm just saying. When was this posted? This was posted Monday, August 7th. Was this posted today? That's so weird. And besides this, all I've been seeing is accusations of Jews doing that. Accusations. Now is proof. Central Intelligence Agency. Fucking hiding it. That was leaked by the Egyptian General Intelligence. The report points to the truth of the information circulating in the Arab region about the brutality and secret rituals practiced by the Jews in their festivals such as Passover and Hanukkah, including the slaughter of non-Jews and offering human sacrifices to the god Moloch. Confirming that Jewish extremists of Palestinian origin did kill a number of children to mix their blood for the baking of matzahs for Hanukkah every now and then, as well as confirming their killing of foreign children from African countries, Palestinian, Egyptian, Moroccan children, Egyptian prisoners of war, Palestinian prisoners to use their blood for the baking of matzahs for Hanukkah. So, I don't know if this is fake news or not, but there's a lot of news trying to say that this is fake news, but this is like just posted today, so who knows? I'm kind of 50-50. I'm kind of maybe 90-10 at this point, hearing all the fucking shit that we just heard, that I just heard for fucking 30 minutes or something. Holy shit. That's fucking nasty, isn't it? So, I'm pretty sure these people, these elite pedophiles, motherfuckers that do this, should be, I really want to dissect them. I really want to make them suffer. And I think that I'd be doing God's work. I think that they all need lobotomies and neuterings. Or to be neutered. I'm pretty sure neuterings is not a fucking word. But you know exactly what the fuck I mean. Because this kind of shit should not be permitted. And I just keep on coming across this shit. This shit keeps on slapping me in the fucking face. And I don't understand how people are fucking ignoring it. How people are just going about their day, just enjoying, and this kind of shit just makes me like fucking rock and fucking continue to smoke cigarettes. Like, how does this shit not make people want to murder? But yeah, I guess that's today's video. I'm sorry it was so fucking long, but I think that everybody had to see that. I'm sorry that you had to see that. At the same time, I'm not, because you need it to. Protect your children. Make sure you get right with God somehow. And hunt pedophiles. Toodles.